forget it. Now, Bharat saying, you want to escalate it? You want to try and provoke? You want to make statements and you want to drop the diplomatic niceties? Here goes. You've just unchained us. Now, after Canada's claim, External Affairs Ministry issued an advisory to Indian citizens. There's an increase in anti-India activities in Canada, politically condoned hate crimes in Canada. Those opposing anti-India agenda are being threatened. Travelers are being urged to exercise the utmost caution, must avoid traveling to sensitive regions. Students particularly advised to be vigilant. Indians must register with the High Commission. Officials will remain connected with all members of the Indo-Canadian community and Indians in Canada. India has suspended visas citing security reasons, but here are some FAQs just to put certain worries at rest. Let's just get a closer look. What happens to my current visa is one of the first questions that comes to mind. No bar on travel for valid Indian visa holders. Then the next question. Can I travel to Canada? Yes, there is no bar on Indian travelers traveling to Canada. Can my child return from Canada on an existing visa? Absolutely, no problem for valid visa holders at all. What happens to my current visa? No bar on travel for valid Indian visa holders. Can I travel to Canada? Yes, no bar. Will OIC card holders face issues? No. Can Canadians living in other countries visit India? There is no bar on valid visa holders. Can students, workers return from Canada? Yes, they can. No problem at all. So all of these concerns, well, they return. It's only that there is an advisory. Don't travel unless you absolutely have to. Don't travel to sensitive areas, and there will be no fresh visas that will be issued. Now, we as a nation have made it very, very clear that it is the responsibility of the Canadian government to protect members of the Indian community, members of the Indian consulate, all those working in the High Commission as per diplomatic norms. The NDA government also has red flagged the Trudeau government's inaction against extremists. Intel sources revealed to News 18 that India drawing the red line, asking Canada to act against secessionist activities. The first charge, Trudeau government aware of anti-India activities. The second charge, silent on propaganda of secessionist propaganda by K groups in Canada. Charge 3, protecting K members for political benefits. Charge 4, inaction under the garb of freedom of speech. Charge number 5, diplomatic channels have failed to act on this entire K issue. Indian diplomats are facing threats from K goons. Charge number 7, violence call against India in K rallies, but no action has been taken. And also charge number 8, Khalistani separatists are issue is complex and sensitive and it needs to be addressed with utmost seriousness. Canada must deal and act without damaging ties with India and the entire Sikh community. Charge number 10, Canada must recognize responsibility and ensure citizen safety. All of these points we have raised, and after this all-out attack, Justin Trudeau reasserted allegations against India, but he conveniently skipped questions on evidence, allies being silent, and India suspending visas. Canada takes the allegations seriously. He said government of India is linked agents are involved in Nijjar's death. No proof, just allegations. Want government of India to work with Canada. Our processes are rigorous and independent. Shared concerns with PM in no uncertain terms. Now, Sanjay Kumar Verma, the Indian High Commissioner to Canada, spoke to us here on CNN News 18 on the right stand on the 12th of September, soon after the stern message that was sent by India around the G20 summit by none other than the Prime Minister. And the Indian High Commissioner said few boisterous elements are harming India-Canada ties by spreading lies and holding pro-Khalistani protests. He also said he's received several threats from K elements and agreed that it was his own engagement that was thwarted by these K goons. Listen in. You are confident that there will be further action will be taken because, again, just around the time Prime Minister Trudeau touches down, there are calls for a referendum. There are others who are issuing threats against you also, sir, saying you are a representative of PM Modi and the Ottawa consulate should shut down, the High Commissioner should go back, etc. How would you react to all this?
These are noises and these are not happened for the first time in the history of our bilateral relations. So I'll take it with a pinch of salt. I continue with my own interactions with the government, with officials, with the provinces, with my community. And I hope to continue it the same way.
There was a question about secessionist elements, Khalistani elements operating and getting a free run on Canadian soil. This was put to Prime Minister Trudeau. And he said you cannot broad brush it. Actions of a few cannot be broad brushed over a community and all of Canada. But what's being done? The irritant aspect is, and I think Prime Minister Modi has also raised this, that you're not doing anything about it.
See, what Prime Minister Trudeau said has a lot of truth in that. It's a very small handful boisterous elements who would like to harm Canada in the relation at any cost. And they are the ones who are going ahead with spreading lies. They are the ones who are going ahead with so-called protests, so-called referendum. When you count their numbers in the overall population of Canada, they are hardly a drop in the ocean. And therefore, they are very, very small in number. And they have been able to do things that they are doing. But recently, when they had crossed the red lines of the Canadian law, actions had been initiated.
Do these elements, like you call them, boisterous and very small drop in the ocean, are they getting more traction or are they just creating a lot of hype on social media? How would you read this, Sanjay ji?
I would say that, earlier the social media was not so much in the eye. So therefore, we were missing that element. These days, it's the world of social media, and therefore we are noticing them more. But they are frustrated. They are coming out with the kind of statements they are coming out, which are falling on the wrong side of the Canadian law, only due to the reason that they are not seeing anything more going forward. So I would see it in a very different light. Today, everyone is on Twitter or now X, on Facebook platforms, on Instagram, and they are misusing these platforms for their own business. And I'm calling this activity business with responsibility, because that is from where these bunch of goons are able to make their money.